Good morning and welcome to Lake Country Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Lois Ramikis. My pronouns are she and her. We welcome you. We know you come here for different reasons: to find community, to seek your spiritual and personal truths, to question, to nurture your heart and soul, to be nurtured, to explore new ideas, to find comfort, and perhaps to find the answers to some of your bigger questions. We welcome you. We know you come from different places, different religions, different beliefs, and different backgrounds. We hope you will find comfort, connection, challenge, and love here. We hope you will find ways to provide outreach to others in our congregation, in our local community, and in our world community. If this is your first time here and you have young children with you, our nursery is available throughout the service for little ones. And we have a quiet play area over there in the back for younger people as well. After the message for all ages, kids from kindergarten through grade 5 can follow the lantern to the classroom. Small children are always welcome to join these classes or remain with us throughout the service. And as always, everyone is invited to join us for beverages and conversation in the social hall after the service. As we settle into our time for worship, please silence your cell phones. Welcome.
The first reading is from Anam Cara, a book of Celtic wisdom by John O'Donohue. Behind your image, beneath your words, above your thoughts, the silence of another world awaits. No one else can bring you news of this inner world. Each one of us is doomed and privileged to be an inner artist who carries and shapes a unique world. If we become addicted to the external, our interiority will haunt us. We will become hungry with a hunger no image, person, or deed can still. To be whole, we must remain truthful to our vulnerable complexity. In order to keep our balance, we need to hold together the interior and the exterior, visible and invisible, known and unknown, temporal and eternal, ancient and new. The human journey is a continuous act of transfiguration. If approached in friendship, the unknown, the anonymous, the negative, and the threatening gradually yield their secret affinity with us. Friendship is a creative and subversive force. Friendship is the sweet grace that liberates us to approach, recognize, and inhabit this adventure. A friend is a loved one who awakens your life in order to free the wild possibilities within you. The Celtic conception of friendship finds its inspiration and fullness in the sublime notion of the Anam Cara. Anam is the Gaelic word for soul, Cara is the word for friend, so Anam Cara means soul friend. You can never be fully visually present to yourself. Your Anam Cara, your soul friend, is the truest mirror to reflect your soul. May you learn to be a good friend to yourself. May you never be isolated. May you always be in the gentle nest of belonging with your Anam Cara.
Good morning. I'm Carolyn Wise, and I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience being part of this Soul Matters group the last 4 years. And for me, it wasn't just a social activity. It was more of a spiritual discipline of holding space and for bearing witness to one another. We did this by deeply listening to one another with the shared understanding that we weren't there to fix or to change one another, but simply to receive one another's stories. I see our Soul Matters group as a tapestry, with each one of us representing various multifaceted fabrics. Going around the circle and sharing our experiences and our stories and our lives with one another was like a loom weaving fabrics together. Individually, each of the fabrics is unique, naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. And that's how we held one another. When combined, they create a beautiful tapestry incorporating many colors, textures, and patterns. As a result, I came away feeling a tremendous sense of connection because I was listened to, heard, and seen. I don't know that there are any gifts greater than these. Building upon this theme, our second reading today is by Dr. Rachel Naomi Raymond. Dr. Raymond is one of the first Western-trained doctors to bridge the gap between clinical medicine and spiritual wellness. At 88, Dr. Raymond is now a clinical professor emeritus at UC San Francisco and a lifelong pioneer of integrative medicine. Her work wasn't about curing diseases in the physical sense. It was about healing people, which she believes happens through story, connection, and by being seen by others. She understands that the most powerful tool for healing isn't a medicine, it's the quality of our connection. Here begins the second reading. Listening is the oldest and perhaps the most powerful tool of healing. It is often through the quality of our listening and not the wisdom of our words that we are able to affect the most profound changes in the people around us. When we listen, we offer with our attention an opportunity for wholeness. Our listening creates sanctuary for the homeless parts within the other person. I absolutely love that line. I'm going to say it again. Our listening creates sanctuary for the homeless parts within the other person. That which has been denied, unloved, and devalued by themselves and by others. That which is hidden. In the silence of listening, you can know yourself in everyone. Eventually, you may be able to hear in everyone and beyond everyone, the unseen singing softly to itself and to you. The most basic and powerful way to connect to one another is to listen. Just listen. Perhaps the most important thing we ever give each other is our attention. Here ends today's readings.
I moved here from Minnesota 4 years ago to be closer to my family after my husband passed away. And what I really needed were some good friends. And I started coming to this church and joined Soul Matters. And I really found some very good friends. So very grateful. So I'm Jane Johnson. I'm the leader of the Soul Matters group that meets in person once a month here at church. We currently have a core group of 10 who have developed close bonds and friendships over the past 4 years. There is a monthly packet that includes an introduction to the themes, such as cultivating compassion, embracing possibility, or trust. The packet includes many exercises to be completed individually before the meeting. The curriculum includes questions, quotes, poems, links to podcasts, videos, articles, music playlists, suggested books, and movies. There is an abundance to explore each month. After a brief check-in, we begin round 1, in which all members take turns explaining the exercise that they experienced. Some exercises are intense, others are playful or creative. Some involve a lot of time, others can be done in one sitting. Each time we meet, we practice deep listening, holding still without comments, questions, or interruptions until each have a chance to explain the exercise they did that month. In round 2, we share what resonated with us from listening to the other group members. We hold back by not giving advice. We then each share a chosen question, which usually leads to group discussion. Soul Matters is about deep listening to each other, the world, and our deepest selves. Our church subscribes to Soul Matters in a variety of ways. For example, Reverend Matt will soon start a drop-in group. There are also virtual groups available. If you'd like more information, please contact me. Whether in a group or individually, I think you can find valuable tools for your spiritual path through Soul Matters.
Good morning. My name is Mark Ubbesen. What I've really appreciated about the Soul Matters experience has been the invitation to step back, observe, and reflect on my life and my spiritual journey. The invitation might be in the form, as Jane has said, in a question, an observation practice, a video, or a quotation. Soul Matters will introduce you to the concept or practice, then ask you to reflect on the concept a number of times. They kind of say it starts to shimmer to you. After contemplation, you then prepare to present and share your feelings on that reflection. There's something special about sharing these observations with the group. The contemplation, the preparation, and then the presentation of these personal experiences, for me, has been really quite eye-opening. It takes you out of your daily thought pattern and makes you step back and look at yourself and your routine in a different light. To then share it with the other members in the group and hear their observations is very enlightening and connecting. Last year, I chose an exercise that consisted of a number of questions entitled, "What do you turn to?" For example, one was, "When my path turns to uncertain, I turn to." When my spirit feels down and dried up, I turn to. There are about 25 questions on this, and I found it quite challenging and interesting. What I realized that out of the 25 questions, 80% of my responses involved connecting with nature. Last month's theme was entitled Paying Attention. Of the different exercises that were offered, I chose one entitled Savor. The instructions were to choose one item or practice in your life and really observe and reflect on it. I chose my wonderful park, Menominee Park in Menominee Falls. I've been hiking there for about 9 years now, and the first 2 years I was still working. One of the priorities upon finishing my work was always to get to the park. It just kind of took my brain, took away the stress, the frustration, and walking the park was very calming and stabilizing for me. After retiring, I'm at the park almost every day. As a result, I have gotten into a rut. Sometimes I am not that observant of the beauty that surrounds me. This exercise prompted me to go back over the years and look at all the pictures that I've taken during my walks. It just really made me realize what a beautiful, special place this is. Coming up in May will be the trilliums just explode in the forest. Late fall, moon rising over the pond, or a summer, beautiful rainfall over the pond. Right now, I'm enjoying, there's about 5 loons that are visiting the quarry pond, and it's just really exciting. This exercise made me appreciate just how special this park is for me. This exercise made me realize that I have to slow down, observe, and celebrate the beauty that exists in this park and really all around me. I've been doing Soul Matters now for 3 years, and like this church and like this community, it has made quite a positive impact on my spiritual journey. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kristen Sanden. I'm going to be reflecting on one of the exercises in our group that I returned to a few times over the past few years. And I'm going to be reading mine as well. I am a questioner, a connector, and someone with more good intentions than I have time. As a result of these traits, I found myself choosing the Ask Them exercise for my Soul Matters homework on more than one occasion. While many of the Meaningful Soul Matters exercises challenge us to engage in a practice throughout the month, there are also options like the Ask Them exercise for the times one is just getting started days before the next meeting. which will probably be this month also. The homework is to reach out to a friend or family member and talk through a list of questions around that month's theme. During our theme of heritage, I called both my maternal aunt Samara and my dad. We considered why our ancestors may have left their home countries, starving in Ireland, the emptying of the English prisons to Australia. When I asked what they wish they could change about our U.S. culture, I wasn't surprised at all that my feminist aunt chose the patriarchy. However, I wasn't expecting my dad to say slavery, the Native American genocide, and the two-party political system. I loved hearing how my dad's treasured mementos are the letters his parents wrote to each other while dating. And my aunt's is a handwritten birthday card sent to her by her grandmother when she was 10 years old. A sweet reminder that it is relationships that matter most in life. My favorite question was asking them what story they want to be remembered by. My dad said for having an obligation to my community and giving back, and my aunt for standing up for what I believe in. Both lived their lives true to what mattered to them the most. I'm still working on my answer to that question, but I now have a clearer sense of the values I embody as they run deep in my family history. Snuggled together on the couch, I interviewed our daughter Adia about hope. We talked about the meaning of optimism and pessimism, and how sometimes optimism can feel like a burden when you feel like you're the one carrying it for others. We imagined what it would be like to be able to infuse hope into others who need it. Questions such as, has hope ever broken your heart? Made us declare that this conversation was even better than therapy. Shortly after this December chat, Adia asked to lead our sharing ritual at our family's traditional winter solstice gathering. She took inspiration from the Soul Matters questions and had each of us write out memories and wishes of love and hope, and then we drew a picture of our collective vision to carry forward into the new year. It looks like she found a way to infuse hope into others after all. Most recently, I interviewed my niece about the theme of attention. She's a visual artist and has always perceived the world in unique ways, so I knew this was going to be a fun conversation. She shared how she sees the world in patterns and textures. She also sees people with all the details that they are today, in addition to their histories. For example, while waiting in line at a coffee shop, she may notice someone's hairstyle and at the same time imagine all their possible previous hairstyles. I found myself envious of the view through her eyes and promised myself once again to try to slow down and pay more attention. Interestingly, also, she feels that learning to pay attention to details in acting classes as a child cultivated a deeper empathy for others. What if, I wondered, we all tried to be more of an artistic Sherlock Holmes? Would we see enough details in each other that would make it more difficult to hate? These conversations were deep and fun and meaningful, but honestly, what I remember most was simply the time I had with each of my family members. In the age of texting and sharing more social media means than undivided attention, an old-fashioned, unrushed phone call was a treasure. The list of questions designed to get us right to the heart of the theme did their magic. I believe that the sacred lives in the connections between people, and these questions helped us to pause in that beautiful space for a while. Each of you has a list of questions from our April Soul Matters packet in your order of service. I encourage you to pick someone to call this month and explore these questions together. I wonder what you will discover.
Good morning. My name is Karl Timm, and I just have a few reflections on what Soul Matters means to me. And specifically, how does it fit into the church experience? And you all have come here on a Sunday morning, and I come to church for a variety of reasons, but two of the more important reasons are for spiritual growth and a sense of community. And I think Soul Matters addresses those two goals in a different way than church services. In a typical church service, you listen to the sermon and hopefully gain some spiritual insight. You can listen to the readings and maybe get inspired. If you ponder the lyrics of the hymns, also may find some insight. But all those experiences, you are being the receiver, and you're not really participating or presenting yourself. There's, sometimes we have a second hour function, which that's a little more interactive, where you can join in and participate with discussions. But it's not the same as preparing something to say. And so the nice thing about Soul Matters is that you get to present your ideas to the group. And I guess maybe the other half of that, you're forced to present in front of a group, your personal thoughts, which sometimes, depending on your personality, can be challenging. But as Jane explained, there's quite a bit of structure to Soul Matters, and you're given dozens of prompts, and there's usually something that just naturally resonates. And I always think, we're amongst friends here, so it doesn't matter. I won't be judged harshly by them. And I came up with this analogy, which, as you know, most world religions have a sacred text, the Bible, the Quran, Upanishads. But because if you consider a religion that didn't have a sacred text, what would a Bible study be? And so I think that may have a negative connotation since I mentioned the word Bible, but if you think of a Bible study as a group of earnest people meeting on a regular basis to explore important themes, I think Soul Matters meets those kind of criterias. So that's the spiritual growth of Soul Matters. The second important theme is community. And I think that falls out pretty naturally since we meet on a regular basis once a month. Because you are asked to present, you get to learn a little bit more about people to the next level. For example, this person, you can tell, reads a lot of poetry. Or this person understands, has spirituality, is grounded in communing with nature. And so, next time you see him in the social hall, you have something, a little more stronger bond than you would have, let's say, in the Sunday service. And in particular, our group, I don't know how common this is, but we've really become a strong friend group, and we have holiday parties. We've gone to blues concerts. We've had beach parties where we swim in the local lakes. And just a couple of weeks ago, when there was no King's March, we went to lunch ahead of time in Waukesha, and then afterwards we all protested together. So, in summary, I guess Soul Matters is another avenue for developing spiritual growth and deepening one's sense of community in the church. Thank you.
We hope that today's service was a reminder that the treasure of a church is not only found on Sunday morning. More often than not, the real treasure is found in the connections we intentionally make with the folks that we meet here. Thank you to my friends that helped share a bit of the treasure that we find together each month in the Soul Matters sessions. As you take your leave here today, remember to continually seek out opportunities beyond Sunday where you might deepen your connections to this community. That is where church really lives. Go now in peace. Deeply regard each other. Truly listen to each other. Speak what each of you must speak. Be ready in any moment to disarm your own heart and always live as if a realm of love had begun. So be it. Blessed be. Amen.